What's up? Welcome back. It is your boy Kevin Yee, the Farm D. Welcome back to my Sunday stream, my nighttime special, I guess, right? Because it's all dark in here. First things first, I bought a whole case of LaCroix. So, first thing, LaCroix cheers right over here. If you guys are new here, basically this is the Sunday stream where we do a live Q&A session and just shoot you updates about my life and everything that's going on. And if you're watching this and you haven't checked out my Instagram, know that this week has been wicked rough on me, honestly. Well, let's start off with the good news, by the way. I've had my first 10K week. Just in a matter of a few days. I've been trickling a few hundred every single day through my entrepreneurial endeavors, through affiliates, through my closing agency, through my new coaching program too, and all that. It feels really good financially. I haven't felt this good financially in a long time, honestly. And so, yeah, and that was just a matter of 1 weekish for the most part. So, and plus I'm starting a new real estate client as well. So business wise, we're doing really well. My AdSense is up and all that. A lot of the older videos, my certain high ticket closer videos are doing hella well right now. But, you know what? I learned an important lesson this week. Wealth isn't everything. And by the way, if you guys are just tuning in, make sure to smash the like button. Would really appreciate some of the love and all that as well. We got Alex Johnson in the house. He says this week was terrible. 3 days without power. Yikes. Yeah, some of my best friends are actually in Texas right now. I know it's not easy because there's still no power. A few people died from what I read about carbon monoxide poisoning. There was major flooding, all because of the snowstorm this week. So if you're going through some major times, man, my heart goes out to you. If there's anything I can do, and you're from Texas, feel free to message me as well. But where I was going with this as well was that, yeah, financially this week I did really well compared to previous performance. But honestly, this week as well, I'm going to do a separate video on this. Actually, I should write this down. Yeah, this week I tried to believe it or not, I tried to save my relationship to my previous relationship from my breakup, and didn't go well. I learned a lot of hard lessons, man, over the last few days, honestly. Not days, I've been thinking about a lot of these thoughts as well, and had a lot of support. If you guys reach out to me directly, I really appreciate you guys. I just haven't had the chance to reply to everyone yet. I had a lot of people reach out to me, so I just want to thank you guys. If you guys took the time to just reach out to me, don't think that I forgot about you guys. I'm just replying one at a time at the moment, and yeah, I'm just so grateful that so many people just reached out, and I just shared a little bit about my entrepreneurial journey. I'll pull up the post in a second if you guys are just catching up as well. But let's take a look at the comments again. We got Alex Johnson says no big damage, tough for others. Yeah. It's tough, man. Especially right now, everybody's going through some really tough times, especially if you just moved to California, or you moved to Texas and you never dealt with, dude, who would have known it would have snowed so much? Brad says I do door-to-door sales. I did nothing wrong, but today I had 4 cops called on me 4 times and a guy threatened me. I'm going out knocking for doors for 6 hours tomorrow. Life is about toughness and positivity. I think honestly, door-to-door sales is, I don't want to say it's dead, but especially in this climate of COVID, people really don't want to talk to you door-to-door these days, man. So whatever company you're doing, and if people are really killing it in your organization, learn from them, see what they're doing. But honestly, even in real estate, when one of my clients, they stopped doing door-to-door and stuff just to stay more culture sensitive during this time too, of COVID, Brad asked me how I've been. I'll update you guys in a second. Being vulnerable is always tough because people can use it against you. Yeah, absolutely, dude. People When my dad, I'm sure you guys have seen, like when my dad passed, like some people were being like complete assholes, like saying, oh, haha, your dad died and stuff. But you know what? Like, I expect that from like a 12-year-old, honestly. And I'm not going to go back and forth fighting someone like that as well. But that's the real truth. But if I were to show you my posts, there's actually a real thing. But we had 232 people, and so many people replied, man. It really touched my heart. But I'll read this post to you guys if you guys are just new coming in. Real talk, I haven't felt okay in a long time. 6 months ago, I was sitting at my dad's grave while my mom was in her surgery for a brain tumor. And I asked for a sign and a bit of help from the universe, God, or higher being to just guide me in the right direction with my life. No lie, I haven't felt this loss since I was a teen. Since then, I went through the financial roller coaster, thyroid issues, insomnia, housing surprises, and most recently, the loss of my relationships. In terms of my relationship, there's a lot for me to work on. I made lots of mistakes, and one of them is not going to therapy sooner to resolve my issues sooner. While there are wins in between, I struggle to stay positive sometimes. For example, I hit my highest profitable week this week, but I feel like, what's the point if I don't have anybody to share it with? I know it's dramatic, but that's how I feel. Sometimes it's just so hard to continue on with life. I ask myself, what's the point when I feel so much suffering every day? But even during those moments, there's still that voice of reason that comes through, though, even when everything inside feels like it's falling apart. Even when I don't believe in myself, it tells me, keep going. You're meant for more. All you need to do is just show up. It's that same voice that tells me to continue to invest in myself with my therapist, business coach, or just show up in jiu-jitsu or my business, even when things are falling apart at home. To be honest, I never thought that entrepreneur life would be this hard. What people don't see is the cost of success. Maybe I was naive. I just pray that this is God's plan to build me into the man I was meant to be. There's this saying that sticks with me that Mike from Jersey Shore mentioned: God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. It just reminds me, I'm just really grateful every day that I have a choice. Every day is I can choose to show up powerful, compassionate, authentic every day. And not everyone has that opportunity. It's not easy, but this is my refugee hustle. So that was my post this week, my major post. And honestly, since that time, I've just been taking a lot of time off. What inspired it too was like, I was going through a major breakup this week as well. Or I tried to save my relationship, but it just didn't work out. And sometimes, like, for me, and this time it was 100% my fault, y'all. Like, it was my fault. I didn't prioritize it enough. I went through the whole gambit of emotions this week. So yeah, so I just spent some time just chilling with my friends, catching up with my friends, chopping it up, and taking a little time for myself as well. I don't know. I'm just going through so many changes right now as well. But yeah, let me read the comments and see what's up. Alex Johnson asks, Brad, what are you selling? Brad Smith, we live in a low trust society right now. Brad Smith says, solar. Armor Ghost, trust me, I know, laugh my ass off. My mom had to go to hospital for a while, back for her thyroid. It sucks. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about your mom and her thyroid. I don't know what your mom has, hyper or hypo, but I wish your mom the best. I mean, see, here's the thing, like, as we grow older, it's really tough to take care of our parents, man. Like, there's a lot of, I mean, at least for me, I'm not like a caretaker type of person. Like, that's not the person I liked. I'm not sure if anybody really likes taking care of their mom or parents. Like, I've been watching a lot of Frank, Ice One Cubed, and he's dealing with like the long goodbye of dementia, and it's watching his videos always gives me a lot of perspective of how fast life can turn. You might need to take care of your parents one day and stuff like that, and it's not easy as well. So there's that. I feel like if you can have 5 to 10 real friends, then you won. That's better than 99% of people. I think that number is actually quite low, to be honest with you, man. Like, I'm not saying, like, if you only have 5 to 10 friends, then I think a lot of it comes to what you put out there and what you attract, man. I've honestly in my life, like, yeah, sure, I've missed a few. Like, I've had a few like people that I didn't really fuck with, but I think it's kind of weird. I'm not saying law of attraction or anything like that, but if you put on off a friendly vibe of like being open, vulnerable, kind first, not assuming like ill intent, right? Then typically you receive back. Not always, but typically you attract those type of people who come here. And chances are, if you're watching my channel, you're probably like one of those type of people as well. So there's that. I took the week off as well. Next week I'm getting back into it. Love it, man. Would you create a high ticket course and sell it online? Mr. Chi or Mr. Shy, I don't know what you want me to call you. Yeah, I am planning to create a high ticket sales course, but I'm focusing on my one-on-one students right now, so I can get a good idea of what a beginner would really want in a high ticket program course. So that's why I'm working with one-on-one students later, and potentially releasing it later for the rest of the community. But I believe the true value is always one-on-one coaching as well, just because we can customize a plan. If you go through a course, it's great and all, but how do you know what you can apply to your specific offer, your particular situation as well? So there's always that as well. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've been up to this week. I've actually, believe it or not, I've actually really enjoyed, despite everything this week too, like earlier in the week, I really, really enjoyed selling on the Facebook Marketplace. I sold all my camera gear as well, so I'm upgrading some of my gear. I'm going to be upgrading to an NTG as well, like NTG3 for my microphone, using it to cover some of the costs, like these new lights that I have as well. I'm going to buy some other lights in the back, like potentially quasar lights as well. I'm thinking about that. They look really sexy, so I'm doing that, and it's just investing it back into a channel. And I've just been really enjoying selling things. I've been really enjoying like jujitsu as well, going back and just training again, getting in the mode again to really choke people out and develop my plan. I'm going to be doing a few jujitsu videos later, or a jujitsu video later this week with my coach, and we're going to be doing a consultation call as well. And so I'm just getting back in the mode of like, wow, do you hear that? I'm just getting back in the mode of just like of my old lifestyle, and at the same time I'm in the middle of packing up and moving and selling things as well. So yeah, that's what I've been up to more recently. Let's see. True value, one-on-one, definitely. Yeah, says Mr. Shy. Yeah, but I also understand like not everybody needs one-on-one as well. So that's why I'm going to be offering a low ticket, but I'm going to be very honest. I think half the people who just do the course, I don't think they're going to be super, they can be successful, but I don't think it's like the end all be all. True transformation takes time and takes a little TLC as well. So there's that. Well, you can have a lot of surface level friends, but I'm talking about extremely intimate relationships, like people that never leave you no matter what. You're talking about ride or die friends, man. Even so, like I have a crap ton of ride or die friends, man. Like I know I kind of understand what relationships you're talking about, man, but yeah, like again, it just goes back to kind of the energy that you portray. And after a certain point, though, you are right, because it does take work to kind of maintain all these relationships. But from my experience, if you spend a lot of time building a relationship up front and then you leave it alone, then your relationships actually do, you don't have to put that much relationship when you don't have to put that much effort when you reconnect. You just chop it up like old times. I have a lot of ride or die friends, man, that I really do appreciate. So yeah. So there's that. Whew. If you're broke, how would you start making money? So if I was completely broke, it depends on the resources that I would have, Mr. Shy. So like for me, I gotta look at my strengths. Like if I only have my knowledge and stuff, what I would probably do off the bat, because like anything content related, like YouTube related like this is like very, very, and if I have my license stripped away too, I think that's a fair comparison because most people aren't pharmacists. But I would probably, if I knew what I knew right now, I would actually go into some sort of sales. I would do high ticket sales, just because you can work with clients relatively quickly. It can be, if you're good, it can be quicker money. I wouldn't say quick money, but it can be quicker money for you. And I would basically reuse that capital to invest into like potential gear, like personal branding type of things, and launch like maybe basically leverage like everything, my knowledge, and turn into an asset as well. I'd also be investing as well. Like I think that's really, really important, but that's what I would do. I wouldn't take if you're going to copy me, I wouldn't take my advice. I'm not like a multi-millionaire or anything like that, right? I'm not at that level yet, but that's what I would do. If I wanted to do a different industry like real estate, basically, if I knew nothing, like let's say, and I wanted to do something like real estate, I would actually find someone that create a relationship that I know ASAP as soon as possible. Try find some sort of way I could add value to them, to their business, their team or something. Learn OJT on the job training, right? And then like see if I could JV any deals or continue build that relationship. I think sometimes like we always want to build from scratch sometimes, which is like what the ego wants and it's the sexy solution. But in reality, sometimes the best solution is to piggyback off like real top performers if you have nothing to. So I think that's the route to go, honestly. I love Cheyenne says I love to choke people out. Yeah, I love choking people out too, man. Like it's fun when you get a really good. When you get a really solid like jiu-jitsu choke, it's one of the most satisfying things in the world. If you get slip in a darce, man, like that shit is really, really solid. The best way, and let's look at Alex's answer. The best way, and by the way, for those 8 people who haven't liked this video, make sure to smash the like button. We really appreciate it, y'all. The best thing to do is find a way to give value. It might be on YouTube or might be the people that you know. That's true. You made a really good point with the friendships. I agree about that. What if people try to throw lies on you to make you look bad into others? Hey, like I think like with those type of people who kind of like skew your image or throw lies, I mean like it happens on YouTube and stuff, is just ignore them, man. Like cut them out of your life, cut all association with them, and I think their real colors will show up. They're at some point going to screw up their relationships at one point, because all this negativity is going to catch up to them and it's going to hurt one of their relationships and hurt their validity as well. So but if you're in front of them and they're making really bad claims or like fictitious claims and stuff like that, then yeah, like I would say if they're making fictitious claims, I would say like, hey, challenge them on it. Like, what do you mean by that? Or specifically, what do you mean by that? I wouldn't really actually engage, honestly. It's kind of like, imagine if you're walking on a street and a homeless person like yells an insult at you. Are you going to spend your time to like really argue about that? No, they're trying to get attention, and it's important not to feed them as well. I think that's a important thing. Ethan Darcy says, did you ever consider your career as an MSL? Maybe at one point, but never really seriously as well. I know that a lot of retail people have been able to transition to MSL, but I think in this environment too, one of my industry friends was telling me that they're cutting a lot of MSLs relatively, like because they can't really go into offices anymore or something like that. So I think that's what was up. Hope you're doing well. Lemon says, hope you're doing well, my man. Hey, really appreciate you, Lemon. I know it's tough, but it's a good thing. All of the greatest people in history have been massively understood and unfairly attacked. It just comes with the territory. Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, I guess it's like part of success, but just don't, like, it's easy to say, don't focus on that sort of stuff. It really depends on your level of closeness with them. If it's a close friend, I would talk to them. If they're a complete stranger, I would just not engage, and it's not really important as well, unless it's really to the point where you need to address the situation, like, as well. But honestly, like, I just don't like dealing with the whole negativity and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's not worth it, right? There's so many shit talkers online. It's easy to criticize as well. And by the way, for those 7 people who are just joining in, make sure to smash the like button. Would really appreciate it. NM has a question. Feel free to shoot it. How's the course sale and overall business going? So I didn't sell my course. I only did the one-on-one coaching. It's actually all 3 slots filled. I actually had one more. I opened up one more slot for this one other person. She just had to finalize payment and stuff. So we did really, really well. We filled all 4 slots at 2K. So that was really, really nice. Honestly, we're going to increase it next cohort to $500 more, maybe 250 or 3,000. Haven't quite decided yet. And we're going to see how, but the main focus before increasing any price or doing anything is just really making sure that the product is good and making sure that I deliver on my promise to these people as well. So I'm really excited to help these people get started with high ticket sales, either selling for their own programs or selling for their clients, So yes, we got a spammer. So let me see. I think we have a few mods in here. Let me just double check. I'm not sure. Hey, Alex, if you're in here, can you mod that for a second? But otherwise, I will open up my computer and see what's happening as well. Maybe I'm being a little sensitive, but is it getting kind of out of hand? Well, you also have to fight back very hard sometimes as well. Let's block this. We have a few. Hold on. Let me see. Would you go back? Hey, Kevin. Would you ever go back to practicing pharmacy? That's a great question, Jackie. I don't see myself doing it anytime soon. I did, however, what I did was actually I did renew my license in California. It got raised up quite a bit. It's almost like $500 to renew your license. But yeah, I wouldn't consider going back to practicing retail pharmacy, especially if there's other ways for me to make money. I just don't think that that's the best use for my goals and my potential family and happiness and mental state. I value mental state a lot more than money these days as well. I'm not really a fighter. I'm not really a fighter because I don't really give a fuck. I just don't want people to think I'm cocky with my hair flip, but I still understand that's not okay to slander. Yeah. I mean, like, there's a different, I don't know your situation, Xian. So like, if it's like in person, I would just like, and you're in a bunch of mutual friend groups and stuff, I would just bring it up and just be like, hey, like, tell me what exactly is on your mind. Have them explain it. Have them kind of break it down. Like what exactly is going on as well. I think like the more specific you get, the more down to the core the more you get to bottom of core that they're either lying because they can't justify, they have no proof. If it's a lie, you shouldn't have anything to worry about, at least in my opinion as well. But it really sucks, honestly, dealing with it. And that's why for me, I just try not to engage with negative people. Like I said, on my channel, like if somebody like spams, like this guy who just spammed my chat as well, or somebody's like an asshole, or like if I just don't like the attitude of someone, right? If they're bringing a lot of negative energy, I don't want them on my channel. Like I choose not to engage with them. Like even on high ticket sales, if you're an asshole, I don't want to talk to you. Like that's simple. Like I treat everyone with respect. I expect the same, right? Isn't that fair, right? And so that's the thing. But sometimes I'm not always in the right too. Sometimes I have a really bad day and I might not treat someone right all the time, but if I'm that person, I always try to, well, at least I make the attempt to just really apologize as well. Like when I'm in the wrong, more so these days, I make more of an intention to do that these days, especially compared to before as well. But it takes a lot because there is a bit of ego that you have to, it's an ego hit sometimes. You have to admit that you're wrong, but especially if you want to do entrepreneurship, it's really important too. And by the way, for those 7 people, make sure to smash the like button. All right, let's go back. Not sure if spam or not. Tell us about your move to Vegas or not. So a huge contingency, I think, like for the move to Vegas was like, honestly, like I think I wanted to figure out the status of my relationship this week, and I found it out during my talk as well. So I'm actually in the middle of packing my stuff and going to Vegas. I'm packing up all my books. I'm packing up all my everything and selling all the stuff that I don't need as well. Like I'm selling a lot. And so it's been kind of good and refreshing too, because I've accumulated a lot of stuff since I moved to California. Everything that I have in California is located in this room, and I don't use every single little thing anymore. There's a lot that's changed. Like I got rid of my 2015 camera, or 2015 when I first started YouTube camera. I got rid of my vlogging camera. I got rid of a lot of different things, and it almost feels like some burden has been lifted. I'm selling a lot more of my audio gear too, which has been really, really great. It served me a lot in my life, and I'm just taking that money and just either reinvesting it back in the channel, or just like paying for certain things like my lights, or in the future it's going to be my microphones and stuff. But in terms of Vegas, the reason why I like Vegas, no tax, no state income tax, and then also there's a 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu down there, so I can still train. And then I feel like there's a lot of mutual, once things start opening up, I can meet some friends like at coffee shops and stuff, and just start my life anew for a little bit, at least until California gets less ratchet or whatnot. Like when you go into LA right now, guys, I'm not sure if you guys know, but it looks like an apocalypse, y'all. Like it looks really, really bad. It's not that great, honestly. So that's my move to Vegas. I'm moving in like about a year, 2 months, I would say. So that's what's going on as well. Haz says, hey everyone, what's going on, Haz? I've commented on your video about the transition from pharmacy to PA. In your own opinion, do you think it's viable for seeking one for fulfillment and debt free? Let's see. It depends where you're at in your journey in terms of pharmacy PA. It really depends on a lot of different factors. You're essentially paying at least an additional, what did I quote, like 100K for additional schooling to be able to prescribe and do all that sort of stuff. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer, but the pay, really, in my opinion, unless you're balling, I don't really think it, financially, I don't think it's justified. But if you're going to be happier and it'll help you move up the ranks, perhaps maybe you can find other opportunities within PA and stuff as well. And there's a really great outlook on pharmacy as well. Like, so there's a lot of different factors to consider, and it depends, like, what do you consider a fulfilling career as well, Jackie, right? There's a lot of different things. And I think for pharmacy, there's like things like, oh, did you do your PGY1, PGY2? If so, like in your California license, there's advanced practice pharmacist as well, which you can transition. There could be places that have collaborative practice as well that would work for pharmacists. You get a very similar role. There's a lot of different things out there, and it depends what you really, really want. I know that even in IHS, like for pharmacists, like from what I heard, that that they have like similar roles to like PAs and stuff like that too. So there's a lot of different ways, but if you want the easiest of least resistance, I would say going to PA school probably might be good. And plus, like, but it's very competitive to get into PA school. It's not that easy, y'all. So from what I heard, I have mixed feelings about guru exposures. I feel like they get some things right, but they get a lot wrong. They throw the baby with the bathwater. What's your opinion on them? I'm not a huge fan of guru exposures. I think there's kind of a meta to it, right? Like they get all this exposure from punching down and stuff. And I get it. If somebody like truly ripped you off, you're pissed. You want to expose them. You want to let other people know. But I find these communities to be overly negative and to be very slanderous to the entire community as well. I'm not a huge fan of them. I don't partake in them. Most like top level YouTubers, they don't like the gurus, but they also don't like the activity of these anti-gurus too. So I don't think it's worth it to spend so much time on these things, right? Like really, I think at the end of the day, it's like there's poor investment choices. And I think that's a root cause, not these gurus. Yeah, sometimes they have manipulative practices, and that's the FTC's job to kind of regulate that, but it's the government. They're not very good at it. And so I feel like, things like closing, that's a very real industry. Digital marketing, that's a very real industry. You just have to really consume someone's content and build trust over time, not just one Facebook ad or this one ad, and you jump on a call with them and then they pitch you the dream. Like, no, you should really do your due diligence, research, like understand what problem are you trying to solve, and does this program or solution fit the thing? Yeah, so I'm not really big on anti-gurus and stuff like that. I don't watch people like CoffeeZilla. I don't do any of that sort of stuff, honestly. And when I do watch that stuff, like, I find it very toxic for my brain, honestly. I don't find it very valuable. It throws me in a really negative state. I don't really like that shit, So there's that. I am very pro education. Whatever you want to invest, that's your money. Like, that's your money. But I really encourage people that you can't learn everything. I think it's the dumbest statement to say you can learn everything from a book, right? And while you can get a lot of insights from books, I mean, there's a reason why you don't think about it, y'all. Like, even if you hate traditional education, there's a reason why they don't just give you the college textbook and then that's how you get your degree. No, it does not work like that as well, right? Like, there's a lot more. It has to be more engaging. You can't just read a textbook and be an expert on something as well. You need to apply a skill set, or apply what you're learning to a particular project or working toward a specific outcome too. And that's where high ticket comes into play too. If you think about it, one of the highest tickets is college, because there's accountability, mentorship, and you learn the skill base for your major. At least that's the ideal of school. Like, whether you agree about school or not, that's another story. But I hope like that helps you understand, like, you don't just read the textbook. Any educated person will tell you just don't read a textbook and expect your degree. That's not how things work or supposed to work, I guess, right? That's why I like the block feature on Facebook. Yeah, that's true, Shannon. Yeah, older you get, should really cut off negative energy. It's not easy though. Like, the truth is, Huz, you're right, and I agree with you 100%. But it's not easy for a lot of people. But I feel like as I get older, I'm a lot more mature. As I become more successful too, like making more money, or like gaining more authority in my industry. I don't have anything these people are not my target ideal audience I really want to attract. And so I don't want to spend time with them. I rather spend time with, like, doing jujitsu, or like, if I still have my partner, like, I would rather spend time with my partner. I would rather spend time even just doing nothing rather than dealing with these people, right? If it's not super serious, I don't want to deal with it. And guess what? These people, like, who are making slanderous claims and stuff, I mean, who knows? Maybe one of these days, like, a lot of these anti-guru people will get hit with an extreme lawsuit as well for slander, right? Defamation. There's quite a, I mean, I'm not sure what CoffeeZilla and stuff, if he's ever been brought to court or anything like that, but it could happen, dude. Like, it could realistically, it could happen. So you just gotta be very, very careful if you're trying to bring that negative energy as well, right? I think the way that I talked about Dan Locke and stuff like that, I think that was a very tactful way to do it, and that's just how I felt at the time too, like, about his program. So yeah. And do you think Pamp market is just as saturated despite the BLS statistics? Well, sorry, I had to take a sip of my LaCroix, but Pamp market, and by the way, for some people, make sure to smash the like button. But for Pamp, I was actually chilling with my MP and PA friends recently. My PA friend doesn't really have like too much input at the moment, but one of my MP friends, she's located in California. She's moving back down here to LA area, and she says, like, she only got, like, in the past, like, they would just hand you an interview like that, but these days they're a lot more selective about who they give it to. So instead of having like 6 interviews, now she only has like 2 interviews when she came back to California and stuff. So it can be really, really rough for MP as well. So this is all anecdotal, by the way. Don't take it as fact, because obviously like the proper way to do it is to do another survey through BLS or something like that. But I mean, based off what my MP friend says, it's becoming a little bit more saturated than it was previously. But we're also in California too. I've heard like a lot of people have had to go to Vegas as well to find jobs as well. So I hope that helps. All right. Sheehan says, back to pharmacy. So I had my pharmacy tech interview with CVS. She said she doesn't think I'm a pharmacy tech because I don't have my... she said she doesn't think I'm a pharmacy tech because I don't have my license number, but I have my certification. Need PTCB. What's the question, by the way, Shan? I'm sorry to hear that, by the way. Nevada is way better than California. California's an abusive pimp. It just takes all your money and treats you bad. Yeah, I mean, tax-wise, I don't think they really care. Like, obviously, they're trying... They tax the crap out of you. It's a beautiful state. I think it's one of the most beautiful states, but it's not. It's heavily run into debt and all that. I just don't. And I like with the whole Gavin Newsom thing. I don't want to be political and stuff, but I mean, I don't appreciate, like, I don't like politicians in general who are like extreme hypocrites and who get caught and who lie about, like, oh, you know, we were actually indoors when we're actually outdoors, but then we have pictures of you not wearing masks, of you not following your own rules. So there's that level of, those are weak leaders, and we just need to get them out. It's at the end of the day, right? I understand we should be a little bit more forgiving and stuff like that, but you know, you blatantly lied to people numerous times as well. So that's kind of like my stance on California. So yeah, like I question the leadership, and I question like the taxes too. Like, I don't think it's getting any better, and I don't think we should be paying a premium, especially if everything's like for me. And I'm not saying what the state should do, but for me, I don't think it's worth paying a premium if I can't even go out and we're locked out as well. I noticed a lot of high level entrepreneurs move to Puerto Rico for tax purposes. Thoughts? Yeah, there's this great channel called Digital Nomad. I think that's what his I think it's Digital Nomad, but he talks about like how to leave the US to, he always says go where you're treated best, and it's really interesting. I would check out that channel. I don't really know that much about Puerto Rico, and but from what I heard, it's like zero tax, but you can't vote or something like that. There's like some sort of trade-off. Don't quote me on that, but that's like my initial thoughts about that. Michael Steinberg, pretty funny. That was actually the name of one of my professors in the past. I saw in your video that you were doing a 30-day challenge. That was in your first 20 videos. What was the challenge, and why did you stop on day 12? Oh, great question, Michael. I think I was doing like a fitness challenge or something like that. I can't remember. It was a really long time ago. I was copying like Bart Kwan back in the day, and like he had a 30-day challenge to lose as much weight as he could. I think for me, I just got burnt out from doing YouTube. I was very, very young when I was doing that challenge. So glad that you saw that as well. Have some fun videos back in the day. Me and my friends going hiking. I miss those style of videos. So if you guys want more vlogs and stuff, let me know too. I'm more than happy to bring some more vlogs back, especially when I move to Vegas as well. Everyone is fleeing California because of bad politics, but then try to bring the same politics to Texas. Yeah, I mean, Texas is beautiful for the way it was run, and like, yeah, I hope Texas doesn't become like California. And there's a lot of anti-Californian sentiment, like of people going from California to Texas. Yeah, keep Texas the way it is, man. Like, I would say, like, if you're fleeing for a reason, keep Texas the way it is. But I don't know, man. I have no idea. I'm not a very political person, so yeah. Is Los Angeles that bad? Well, when I cut through Los Angeles, I think, like, when I cut through Los Angeles, I see the homeless population. I see how aggressive the homeless population is these days. I see all the businesses shutting down one by one. And it's just very, very depressing. So, and you're paying premium prices on everything. So is it worth it? I don't really know anymore. Like, it's kind of, honestly, LA's kind of lost its novelty on me a little bit, you know? But yeah, I still love it. Kev, what do you do? Cora Bell says, well, hey Kev, what do you do when you're feeling down? Good question. Yeah, I know Corbell in real life too, so interesting stuff. But make sure to smash the like button for those 5 people or 6 people. Make sure to smash the like button. What do I do when I'm feeling down? I honestly kind of detach away from everything. I try to detach away from work. I try to spend a bit of time by myself, honestly, to process any feelings I'm going through. I try to do something for myself, like go to the gym or something like that, just to do something like positive for myself. And then I hang out with my friends. I'm basically and then what I like to do too is just plan out what I need to do next as well after I do all that. So like this weekend, I shared earlier like what my Instagram post from the other day, but basically I'm in the middle of going through like a major breakup. So basically spent some time with my friends yesterday, spent some time by myself on Friday, spent time with like one of my friends on Friday as well. And then today spent more time with my other friends, and I slept in this morning too. It felt really great. So I'm just gonna prepare plan out my week, plan out my goals for this week too, before I go to sleep, and then pack my jujitsu bag so I can start rolling tomorrow morning. So that's kind of like my plan, but like really it's just kind of taking the time just to reset a little bit when I'm feeling down. I mean, ups and downs always happen. It's a natural part of life. And it depends how down you're feeling. If you're just having like it's kind of like being sick, right? If you're having a little sniffle, like I don't think it's worth changing out your whole day in terms of that. Typically, when you start doing routines like working out or doing something for yourself, you'll start feeling better. But when you are, let's say if you are going through a major breakup or you're going through someone that you love died or something like that, that's obviously a trip to the ER, right? Where you need to, probably a good idea to get a therapist, just to talk to a therapist temporarily, to really take time off from work and all that. I think that's really, really important too. So there's that. So that's kind of like high level what I do when I'm feeling down. Puerto Rico is a great place to move. Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it's a really great place to move. I can't remember. There's still a lot of rich people in Puerto Rico too, as well. So there's that. Bob Dole says, hey, been a while. Great to catch the stream. Hey, really appreciate you, Bob Dole. Thank you for catching the stream as well. What's your Bitcoin Ethereum selling plan? I'm going to start staking my Ethereum on Coinbase for a few months. I probably will do the same. Actually, I got a notification to do the pre-launch for that as well, so I probably will do it. I don't have any plans of selling my Ethereum anytime soon. COVID climate won't go away for a while, so definitely a good move away from high costs of living taxes, at least for the next 5 years. That's true. Yeah, I would say so. And although all my friends are in California, it's like it makes more sense just to fly back whenever I want to see my friends, honestly. I think that's a much smarter move. A lot of people are leaving America because they think taxes are too high and it's headed towards communism. Do you think that's legit or over dramatic? I think like when I watch Digital Nomad or whatever that channel is, I think like honestly, yeah, I do think like taxes are really, really high in this country. And especially when you question you question the trust of the government or anything like that. I can see why people are doing that as well too. Headed toward communism, I don't think we're there yet, but what concerns me a lot is like the culture, the silence culture or cancel culture concerns me a lot, because I mean, this hits home for me because my mom, my family, they left because of the communists actually, right? Because they didn't like the feeling of being silenced or anything like that. True silencing means like, dude, bullet through your head, dude. Like that's what used to happen when you talk bad about the government. And a lot of us, like, I never assume ill intent. Like people who do cancel culture, I understand where they're coming from, but it's a very slippery slope of then who deciding, well, who gets to say what we cancel and who says that we don't. I think like honestly we need to move to more of a culture where it's like more forgiving, right? A forgiving culture rather than cancel culture. Like you make one bad move and then you're canceled. No, that's kind of, we all make bad mistakes, right? Like we've all lied, we've all done like really shitty things in our lives. We're not saints, right? But I really think there should be a a culture of like being able to redeem yourself, being able to listen to other side before like canceling them, right? I think that's important, right? But yeah, like that's just my thoughts about that sort of stuff. Let's see. Brad Smith, don't you hear someone every 4 years say that someone's elected president and they will leave a country? I don't see them leaving. That's true. Unholy Toaster says, I just came from one of your pharmacy for career videos and was wondering what are some alternative choices in the medical field would you recommend to a junior in high school? I actually mentioned it in my Don't Do Pharmacy updated video, so if you want to check that out, go ahead. But I mentioned like careers like optometry, physician assistant, even like nursing as well. Those are like at the moment, I don't know about optometry, but the other two are still in relatively high demand for those type of fields. But, you know, really, I can't recommend a choice because I don't know you at all. And I don't know like your strengths, weaknesses. And that's ultimately not for me to decide because you pay the ultimate price for that. All I can tell you is like, hey, these are kind of like the things that you should be aware in pharmacy. And you can choose to take it or not. It doesn't matter to me, but I just want people, if I were in your shoes, Unholy Toasters, that's what I would probably do back in the day. I recently got interested in the stock market and marketing industry, even though my degree was completely different field. How would you suggest someone who's starting and fresh in the market resources? That's great. Stock and marketing. Well, so those are pretty different fields, man. So I'll speak on the marketing aspect, right? Like, honestly, I would say, like, if you have some capital, I would honestly get one of the coaches, like a coach to help you, a career coach in digital marketing to help you build your career. They will fast forward that for you. So two people I really recommend at the moment are probably like Cynthia Sandoval. She's really great. And then Athena Pham. Those are two of my really close friends as well. And I would highly recommend them to learn from them because they're pretty established and learn from someone from that. But if you don't have the capital to do something like that, you have nothing, then get a job. And you can easily try to get a job in digital marketing or something like that, apply to different places, apply for entry level, and then work your way up too. You can do that, but I highly recommend you getting some sort of mentor as well, or coach, just so that they can help, like if anything comes up on their table, they can recommend you to different places or resources or things like that as well. So that's what I would recommend if you're starting a new career at the moment in digital marketing or anything like that. You could also go the really long route of learning something. Like I always promote my friend Richard Nich's course and stuff. So you can go through that and try to get a client that way and build up your experience that way. Either way, your priority shouldn't be on making money as soon as possible. Your priority should be like, honestly, I think the major priority for me would be to be able to get experience first, get really good at your craft. You can't charge high prices until you're really good and you know you can deliver. And that's important. There's a lot of digital nomads who have already left because they think taxes are too high and America is headed towards communism. Not just talkers. When you mentioned jiu-jitsu a few minutes ago, you said you lost your partner. What do you mean your partner? My previous relationship, that's what I mean. My ex-girlfriend, right? That's what I mean. What's your opinion of tipping culture? I believe in tipping service workers because they make way below minimum wage. I just wish their boss would pay their minimum wage. What are your thoughts? I don't know. I don't really think about it too much. I mean, about tipping culture, honestly, like I have so many other things to think about. I tip a flat 20 every single time. Sometimes if it's really good, I'll tip even more, but typically I'll just do a flat 20 and just leave it like that. I don't really, I think maybe the business should pay for it, but I don't know. Like I'm not in the restaurant industry. Like I don't want to just throw an opinion out there because it could be a lot of things that I just not considering. Cause I also know that restaurants, they don't make a lot of freaking money either. So I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. Right. It's going to bleed into your pockets anyways as well. So I don't know. Legal bosses can legally pay workers $2.13 an hour in most states since it gets tips. I have mixed feelings about it because I can see both sides of it. Exactly. Well, Jackie says, I'm going through a breakup as well, man. It's rough, but we have to move on. Distances destroyed my relationships. Hoping it will work out some days. May sound selfish, but who knows? Yeah, I think like that's been really, really tough for me in terms of the breakup. I've been just learning a lot about myself, my habits, and I think the hardest part about this breakup was that in the past it was pretty clear, like either an ex wasn't feeling that way anymore, they would break up with me, or like they cheated on me or something like that. I'm not saying like it's not, and even in those situations not 100% their fault, because it's like, okay, what gap did I leave in the relationship as well? Like thinking about that, I think that's really important to think about, like what you could have done better. But for me, it's like I realized it was my lack of commitment. And when I say lack of commitment, I'm not talking about like I was a chronic cheater or anything like that as well, but I just had a fear of commitment, and that was preventing me from progressing the relationship. And knowing that I have this fear, I wish I got therapy sooner. I wish I even just took the leap and just tested it out. After all, like if I don't feel ready, well, what does it look like when I am ready? That's what one of my friends asked me yesterday. I was like, that's a very profound thought, by the way. I really like that. But yeah, I mean, I feel like a bunch of mixed feelings. Sometimes I just feel angry at myself, sometimes her, sometimes like a lot of different things. Sometimes I feel angry. Sometimes I feel like a lot of guilt. Sometimes I feel hopeless sometimes too. Like, man, I have to start all over again in terms of dating and stuff. Like, I really want to fix it. Sometimes I just feel like bad timing, where it's like, man, a year ago it was opposite. I wasn't ready and she was ready. Now it's opposite now. Like, I'm ready to commit and she's not ready to commit. So brings a lot of mixed feelings for me, honestly. And I could probably talk a lot about it, but I'm not going to bore your time as well with this as well. Hey, Kevin, big bro, God bless, keep up the grind, can't wait to start the course. Yeah, or the coaching service, can't wait, man. I've actually shot like the first module, so I hope you guys enjoy it. It's gonna be a work in progress too. Like, I'm really excited to have you, Gustavo, as well. So thank you for keeping up. We're gonna start very, very soon and hit the ground running. What do you like about making videos? Making videos every day? It's a creative outlet for me. I get to express my thoughts and monetize off of it, honestly. It gets a little stressful sometimes because I plan out all my videos these days, but I just love the fact that I get to so many people who actually listen to me, listen to my opinion. They care about my opinion, so much support. I mean, think about it. I have like at least like 18 people on this stream right now. And for that one person, make sure to smash the like button too. But yeah, like that's one thing I love. I love being able to create relationships. I get a lot of relationships on the back end through the DMs too. So there's a lot of that as well. And by the way, I might have to dip soon just because I'm getting the rest of my stuff back. Hold on for a second. Let me just check my messages. I might have to wrap up in a second. So, not done yet. Well, hold on. Let me just send this message. Okay. I recently watched your videos on inbound closing. I'm interested. Just a little scared to take the leap. Is it really worth it? So, Bo Mays, I would tell you this. Take my masterclass. It's completely free. It's like almost two free hours of content. So I'll leave it in comments below, but check it out. And if it puts you to sleep, then it's not for you. If you really like it, then maybe it is for you as well. But I think like that's the first step. Try and figure out whether you actually like it or not. So go there, and that should help you with your free course. That's a free resource, by the way. Someone was called cheap because they only tipped 25%. Yeah. How has inbound closing really impacted your life? Some of the things I love about inbound closing is that I get to learn. I'm constantly learning, like not only improving my communication styles as well, but it forces me to be in a positive state more. It forces me to be able to, and also what's really cool about it is like, for example, one of my clients, does real estate. I had to learn real estate within like 2 weeks, or learn the concept of real estate, this type of real estate, and it's really cool. So if you want to learn about like dating, great, you can close for someone who does a dating coach. If you want to learn real estate, you can close for a real estate coach. You get all this information for free, and you get to build relationships on the internal team with closing as well. So I think that's a huge thing that people don't talk about too much, but it's something that I realized after this real estate client as well. And I just been able to meet so many people just through inbound closing. It's pretty crazy. And so I think, honestly, it's given me the confidence to kind of launch my own products and services as well. So I really enjoy that as well. So those are some of the things, and just the Kaizen aspect of it, continuous improvement. I think that's a major, major thing. It's kind of like jujitsu or like personal development. Once you catch the bug, you just can't stop. Once you pop, you can't stop, man. So I just really enjoy that. Would you ever get back with your ex? I don't know your age, Kevin, but do you ever get pressured by your Asian parents? Great question. Great question, because I actually talked about it with my mom this morning too. But in terms of like getting back with my ex, like I think I'm more than open to it right now. Ask me that in a year, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to be in 1 year. But I think like right now I'm ready to kind of commit and move on to the next stage of my life. But I know in order to do that, I need to continue my therapy and continue like my healing. I know it sounds fucking corny, but honestly, like I spent the last 5 years with this person too. So it's yeah, I would consider it. She was very super supportive, and one of the things that kind of hit me was like, you know, what else could she have done? And the real question is nothing else. You know, it's very hard to find someone who's that supportive in your life as well. So as far as my Asian parents pressuring me, my dad was, when he was alive, he was always very open to whatever I wanted to date. It was more my mom. And I actually hit up my mom this morning after going through the breakup. I was like, you know what? It's not right for you to step in and tell me what you like, what you don't like, because Mom, here's the thing. Like, you don't have to live with the decision. I do. So it's unfair for you to give your input. Sure, if hypothetically, if I was in an abusive relationship, I was getting smacked or whatever, probably not going to happen, right? Like for me. But, like chances are like, mind your own business pretty much, right? They don't have to pay the consequences, you do. And so you have to live with that decision. And imagine like you like someone a lot, you see a future with them, but your mom or dad doesn't. It's like, dude, fuck them. It's your life. And that's part about being an adult and being a man, like being masculine too. There's a book called The Courage of Being Disliked. And I've just been reading it a little bit more, because it's like, this is what it means to be masculine, is like to push against people when you don't necessarily agree with them as well. And in this case, it was my mom. And in the past, I used to kind of cave in a little bit. Every single other area of my life, I push back. But for some reason, this area meant a lot. And I was just like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that anymore. Like, I'm not going to listen to you for any of this sort of stuff. It's not your place. Pretty much shut the fuck up in a very polite way. So that's what I pretty much said. I don't know what WFG is, by the way, Rohan. So, Kevin, we are never bored with anything you talk about because you are a very genuine guy. Hey, really appreciate it, Brad. Do you buy your video equipment as a tax write-off? Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's one of the benefits about starting a business too, is because you're able to, sorry. For some reason, my phone keeps on going off. Like, it keeps on doing this freaking annoying Facebook thumbs up thing. But yes, that's one of the great things about having a business, is that you can write it off. You can just write off your video equipment as well, like when you make profit off of it. How do you decide what to talk about every single day? Great question. It really depends. Like, what are other people talking about? What do I want to talk about? And what does my audience want to talk about too? So I have a kind of an idea. Like I look at the numbers too every single week with my team. Recently, like the topics where I want to talk about stuff has been doing really, really well. Inbound closing topics on YouTube have been doing really, really well for me. On my investing channel, which I don't know if I want to continue, honestly. I've been having second thoughts. I don't know if it's a doubt, what's going on. I gotta see how many videos I've done, but by 100 videos, if I'm not at 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to terminate that channel because I can double down on this channel and produce more content for this as well. So, but I have pillars. I mean, I usually talk about some sort of personal development topic. I talk about some sort of business topic, and I'm planning to do a podcast too. So I have a podcast coming out as well, a different podcast. Haas says, cheers, man. Do you think cold calling is still a strong industry? I know a lot of people do cold calling, by the way, but in my opinion, like I think marketing is a much better strategy than doing cold calls. Like honestly, in my opinion, if you have a strong content marketing strategy, it's just better use of everyone's time. Like I don't think sure, are you leaving money on the table with cold calling? Could you optimize? Sure, by hassling people, you can do that. But in my opinion, it's a very interruptive process. As well, I'm not a huge fan of cold calling. Most adults are still slaves to their parents. Great to respectfully stand up to them. Very, very important. Do you use a lead vendor? I don't know what lead vendor is as well. It's like, do I use a lead generation vendor? Is that what you're asking? Like someone who will generate leads for me as well? If that's your question, no, I do not. I can easily push back super hard with most people, but even I have a few people in my life I find it difficult to push back on. This is because I look up to them and respect them a lot. Yeah, it's not easy to push back, but you know, like I think one of the things that it's an important skill. Like I notice with certain people I can push back, other people that I respect a lot too, I have trouble pushing back too. But you know, especially if they're overstepping a boundary, like for you, like I think it's important to be able to respectfully say that, you know, like, hey, you know, I don't know, Brad, but like, honestly, this conversation is making me feel a little bit uncomfortable, man. Do you mind if we change the topic? Or, hey, I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable because of XYZ. Like just communicating that is really important, right? Like as well. So I think that's fine. Like everybody has their things that they want to talk about, the things that they don't want to talk about as well. So there's that. But I also like try to like also when I'm taking feedback from people, I always try to look at people's results because anybody can give you advice. That's why I always say like, yo, be very careful about my own advice that I give you guys because, you know, unless you want guys, you do not want my relationship life right now, right? Like it's in ruins at the moment, right? I would not take relationship advice from me. But if you want to know, if you guys are curious about how I'm trying to heal from my stuff, that's cool. Like I'm trying to be a guide, not a guru, right? And so I look at people's results to see if like, you know, if their results or credentials as well. Like for example, my friend was like, why are you going to listen to a professional therapist? And it's because they probably have a system, they have a track record of helping other people. Like I choose to listen to my therapist, you know, and choose to analyze like, hey, am I having more good days and bad days? Like that's the thing, man. Sometimes people like look at things very, very like logically, which is a great thing. It's a great skill to have, but especially in this relationship domain, I think it's important to be able to look at everything through both the emotional lens, the logic lens, and ethos, pathos, and logos. Logic, emotions, and ethics, I think those are three. But yeah, there's that. Buying versus renting. I'm a renter. I like having the extra capital so I can invest into my businesses as well. So that's my opinion. I'm so enjoying this. I don't have humble people in my life. Your lives on here give me life and good encouragement. Hey, I appreciate that, Shian. Like I said, I do this every Sunday, like at about 6 p.m., 9 p.m., 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. So it's my time to kind of give back to my community. Yeah, I received a lot of pressure from my mom. My dad was really chill and respecting my decision compared to my mom. Then again, I understand her perspective. She wants me to find someone. She probably wants the best for you, Jackie, bro. Like at the end of the day, I guarantee that's why she's being so pushy. But at the same time, like it's not helping. She wants you, your parents probably want you to be happy or find a partner that makes you happy, somewhat secure as well. And but at the end of the day, it's not their decision. Just like how it's not their decision to select what major you're supposed to be in, to who you have sex with, who you don't have sex with. Like, dude, do you really want to ask your mom about like, hey mom, can I have sexual intercourse with this person? No, that's not their place, right? It's like, this is your body. This is your, like, I respect, that's why I'm kind of rebellious, I guess. Like some of my friends think I'm a little bit rebellious because I like to push back on that stuff. But I think it's like, I don't think people should have like say about certain things like that, you know? I try not to butt into my friends' relationships unless like, obviously if it's like an abusive relationship or if it's like really bad, then I'll step in. Recently I had to step in with a person that's really means a lot to me. That's the only time I step in, but I don't like stepping in. I think like everybody's an adult. I don't have to pay those consequences of a failed relationship too. So yeah, there's that. But the process isn't ideal nor healthy. I hope you feel better, Kev. I'm sure you'll find someone better. Keep your head up, bro. I think like I'm very reluctant toward like terms like finding someone better and stuff like that. Like, not to say like better is so subjective sometimes, and it's just like, I think from this relationship I learned a lot about myself and how some of these thoughts I have need to be addressed as well. And so that's why I actually bought a breakup course recently, so I can properly kind of heal from or process like this difficult time for myself as well. So hasn't been easy, y'all. Like it really hasn't been easy at all. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Well, that is the stream, guys. I've streamed for hour 6. If you guys are watching this, make sure to smash the like button. If you have any like final questions, make sure to drop them right now because I'm going to be hopping off in a bit. But yeah, like I appreciate you guys sticking on to this. If you guys, and by the way, before we step off, I do want to ask you guys a question. So in terms of videos, I've been trying to look up different video topics and stuff. What are some video topics that you love for me to kind of talk about as well? Like shoot them in the comments. I'm going to post them in my Notion board and all that, but I would love to kind of hear what you guys would want to see me do next. When are you going? Vegas? April. Last day of April is when I'm headed to Vegas at the moment. So, yeah. Do you ever find it hard to apologize to people? I usually never reach out to anyone first because I feel like they might reject me or use it against me. Bro, like this is something I'm not always good at. I actually bought a book called Thank You for Your Feedback. But sometimes it's like when I'm in the heat of the moment, sometimes it's very hard for me to apologize, right? And take a step back, but it's an ego thing, man. And you just got to let go of it too. And I think like more recently, I've been more intentional about apologizing for shit I fucked up in the past, you know? Even with the recent breakup, one of the first things I said was like, yo, I'm just really, really sorry that I put you through everything as well. So it's not easy saying sorry, man, or apologizing for shit, you know, like, but that's how you grow. I mean, otherwise you're going to keep on making the same mistakes over and over and over again. And, yeah, like it's an apology can be for them too, but at the end of the day too, it's a lot of it is just for us because we're not all saints. Like by apologizing, it forces you to look within yourself and really accept that you fucked up. You did something wrong. And there's a lot I did wrong in this relationship, at least from my point of view. Right. Yeah. So that's pretty much everything going on at the moment. Is it possible to get a pharmacy job in LA or Seattle? I'm pretty sure it's possible to get a pharmacy job wherever you go if you have the right connections, but I don't know. Don't go to Texas, otherwise you'll be stuck in the snow. Actually, fun fact, my friend who lives in Dallas, I don't know about other areas of Texas, but he told me Dallas, it all melted. It's like 75 degrees today. So pretty funny stuff. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap up. I will talk to you guys later. I hope you guys have a great Oh shoot, Cheyenne, I'll answer your question before headed out. What happens if someone says sorry but continue to do the same thing over and over? So what you want to do is just keep it very objective, right? So like, let's say if someone says sorry and stuff, and just be like, hey, Shan, like, I hope I'm saying your name right, but hey, Shan, hey, I noticed that you apologized for this before, but this keeps on happening over and over again. Like, hey, what's on your mind? I guess like when you do XYZ, right? Just like bringing something up factual. They apologized about it before. It keeps on happening. Like most recently, this happened, right? So you're basing it off like objective data. Hey, what's on your mind right now? Opening up the conversation. Very simple. I do it in sales a lot too, like certain things, but I think that's really, really important too. Brad Smith says, I feel like you're way past the point of videos. You already made a million great videos. Just make a course and mastermind with Facebook group and weekly Zoom calls. Yeah, that's true. But like, here's the thing too. We are creating a community right now, or we have plans to, but one project at a time. I'm launching my high ticket sales program. And so, really going to connect people with really great opportunities for those first 3 or 4. It depends on the 4th one. I have to speak to them really quick as well. Kenny says, Kenny's the man as well. One of my really close friends too. Kevin Yee spits the truth. Yeah, man. Like, honestly, I just try my best to help people like with what I've learned, but even Kenny says this, be careful who you listen to as well, right? Be very careful about listening to my dating advice. Be very careful listening to my, like the people that you listen to too. But, I'm always more, if you guys ask, hey, like I'm always very open to sharing what I can. Obviously I can't share certain things like yo, Kevin, your social security or like certain things, but for most things I'm pretty open as well. All right, guys. I need to Shadow Johnson. What's up, my man? Thank you for joining the chat too. But your boy is going to head out because your boy has some relationship stuff to handle as well. So, yeah, man, I appreciate all you guys that like this video. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. And 111, perfect time to peace out. Talk to you later, people. Bye.